Is there a player that you think we should look out for in 2022? You can include yourself now if you like.
In terms of our own squad, I would say Evan Weir. He's a young defender, attacking fullback, so yeah, I think he's definitely one to look out for this year.
Someone maybe on our team that not many people know about is Dara Keane. He had a brilliant season last year, and hopefully he can hit the ground running going into next week.
There's a couple, I suppose, our own. James Clark has come on a lot in our, and Drogheda, Evan Weir. We've a few young lads coming through, so hopefully they'll be catching a few headlines.
Young Dara Burns that play with ourselves. He lit it up coming probably later in the year last year, so I think he's a player that could really excite fans this year again.
Probably a few players that I'd rate very highly. There's quite a few have already left for different leagues across Britain. Without putting too much pressure on them, I'll throw in my goalkeeper, Ed McGinty.
I think Mark Byrne for us last year had a good year, but I think he's going to kick on this year, so Mark Byrne, yeah. Jack Moyle on the Shells, he was at Wexford last year, he's done really well for us, and he's probably one who's not particularly well known yet, but I think he will be in a year.
What is your favourite stadium to play in and why?
Favourite stadium that I've probably played in was probably the Emirates 2 years ago. We were in the Europa League group stage. And unbelievable ground, yeah, fantastic.
I'm going to have to say the UCD Bowl. It's our home ground at UCD, and it's a lovely surface to play on.
Anfield, yeah. When I played a couple of reserve games there, Liverpool, so couldn't really get much better than that, in fairness. And even look again, even in reserve games, they always had a good crowd. So yeah, but the playing surface now was far better than anything else I'd ever been on.
Played in many amazing stadiums, but I've never played in Anfield. I've been there numerous times watching Liverpool, so it's a stadium that I would love a chance to play there, and obviously in front of the best fans in the world as well.
A special occasion for me was an opportunity when I went to go and play in Spain with a team called Santander, and I'd only signed for them a couple of weeks before the season started, and lo and behold, our first game was away to Barcelona. So we played in the new camp. Gary Lineker and Mark Hughes were playing for Barcelona, so it was a big occasion at the time, I remember.
Probably when we played with St. Pat's, we played out in Legia Warsaw, out in Poland. Let's say the ultras wasn't very nice, but the atmosphere was unreal. So it's probably the best stadium I played in, especially for atmosphere as well. Say the Aviva. I've only played there once, but obviously grew up going there to watch Ireland play. The cup finals on there, which is obviously where we want to get to. So yeah, the Aviva Stadium.
And if you could change anything about the League of Ireland, what would it be and why?
Probably going to say the referees here. No, I can't say the referees. One thing to change about the League of Ireland, probably a couple of the grounds not up to standard really. So yeah, maybe to improve the infrastructure of the league would be a good starting point.
Maybe better pay for the players. Probably something that the PFAI have looked at in the most previous years, and I know it is improving, but yeah, it'd be great to get it more full time.
From a few of the away dressing rooms, probably, including our own, in fairness, and there is something being done about that, but that's probably it. Yeah, look, you'd always be looking to improve on that.
Probably the contracts of a lot of teams, because to have a stable team, you need kind of longer term contracts, where a lot of clubs in the League of Ireland do a year-to-year basis, where it doesn't have that stability, where you see kind of the likes of Shamrock Rovers can throw out 3-4 year deal contracts where there's more stability in the core in that team, and that's what it takes to be successful as them. So you want that in your team to have, going in every year and having the same base of players there and just adding a couple to it rather than changing 10 and 11 players every season.
It'd be perception around our league, a perception around all that. We need to change that and make it more vibrant, in that you only have to look now how many kids have gone to Britain over recent weeks. We're getting more kids into the league. We want to get more kids into the league. We want to get more young players that can, but we need to get the league more professional, and there's perception around all of that. It is a good league. It's a tough league. It's well supported. We want it better supported. Well funded. We want it better funded. We need sponsorship. We need all that. We just need to get that better. And I just like the perception around our league. I'd like more people to be involved.
Longer contracts, what? No, I think just player stability. You know what I mean? Giving lads more. And it is changing to an extent, but still think it can get better. It's a lot to choose from, but I would say probably stadiums. A lot of the grounds need work if we're going to entice new fans and make it a more appealing product.
Do you have a favourite pundit?
Maybe Mika Richards and Roy Keane at the minute. They're a good laugh, and you get to there's a good partnership going on there. So yeah, it's good. It's a good watch.
Gary Neville, yeah, I love listening to his podcast that he does, and on Monday Night Football too. So it's great to get an insight from a top player.
Shot if I don't say it. It has to be Alan Cawley. He's probably my best friend. So have to say him.
I love actually listening to Neville and Carragher. You know, I think, in my opinion, I think they're the best out there. Yeah, I think they're unbelievable. Obviously, I like listening to Roy Keane as well, you know, but I think just over and over, I think Neville and Carragher are, for me, the favourite.
I do like Tony O'Donoghue, with due respect to them all. Tony's a lovely fella, but very fair in his interviews, and he's tough enough with his questions, but very respectful.
Probably Roy Keane. Straight to the point, no mess.
It's got to be Roy Keane, yeah. Roy Keane, yeah. Yeah, just no shit with him, yeah. Sky Sports aren't used to him.
Favourite player growing up and why?
Roberto Carlos. He was the main man in my position. I grew up watching him, and he was just brilliant to watch. Brilliant player to watch.
And Damien Duff, was he in there at all?
Damien Duff. yeah, obviously. Look, yeah, I grew up watching Damien. He's a fantastic player, and hopefully now he brings it forward into his managerial career.
Frank Lampard for me. I suppose I'm a midfielder myself, and I support Chelsea, so he was probably the person that I really looked up to, and was probably something that I probably aspired to.
And Damien Duff, was he in there at all?
Yeah, sure. It's great for the league. I know we have them in the first, I think it's the third game, so we're really looking forward to it. But we're really looking forward to every match now. It's going to be big matches, and just can't wait to get going.
McGrath was my hero, and I'm sure I'm not the first person to say that. No, he was an absolute legend, unbelievable world-class player, and met him a few times, and a gentleman as well. So no, definitely Paul McGrath.
As I'm a Liverpool supporter, I always looked up to Gerrard. Not that I don't play in the same position as him, but for me, in my opinion, I think he was one of the best players in the world, and I loved watching Liverpool. So it was for me, he was the one that made me fall in love with football.
And what about Damien Duff? Now he's in the league. Did you ever look up to him?
Yeah, of course, Damien Duff. You know, he was an exceptional player. He was at the time, you know, he was probably one of the best wingers there was in the Premier League, and it's unbelievable to have him back in the league here, and it'll attract so much of attention as well to have such a calibre player and profile as him.
I like George Best was fantastic. When I was a kid, all that Manchester United team, like Bobby Charlton, these were all big stars when I was a child. Then as I got a bit older, late in the teens, I remember a League of Ireland selection went to South America. We played against Diego Maradona and the Argentinian team, and you could see, I think I was 19 at the time and he would have been 19, you could see that he was fantastic at the time, at that early stage in his career, and he went on to be one of the all-time best. And then, you know, I could go, there's a few of them every few years, you know, the kind of way, but thankfully I've had quite a few.
Probably Roy Keane again. I think it's the only book I ever read. Was Roy Keane's book, so yeah, I'd say Roy Keane.
And why?
I like the way he played, aggressive, no nonsense, could pass the ball, yeah, everything, leadership skills, yeah, Roy Keane.
Probably Roy Keane, yeah. Roy Keane or Wayne Rooney. Just Man United fan from Ireland. It's classic Roy Keane or Wayne Rooney. Not allowed to say Damien Duff anymore, that is my manager, so.
Hey, I was just going to say, is Damien Duff not in there?
He was up there, but I can't be seen to be saying him now.